In the shadows of history, a chilling tale unfolds. Welcome to the Hartford Witch Panic of 1662-1663. It all began with the mysterious death of John Kelly, a respected man in the community. Local women, driven by fear and superstition, believed his death was the work of witches. The magistrates, influenced by biblical doctrine, launched swift and brutal investigations. Spectral evidence became the cornerstone of these harrowing trials. Mary Johnson emerged as a pivotal figure, tortured by fear and isolation. To save herself, she named others, igniting a wave of accusations. Elizabeth Seeger, a devoted mother, faced multiple indictments. Rebecca Greensmith, known for her eccentricity, confessed under duress. Her confession implicated her husband, Nathaniel. The trials lacked any semblance of justice, confessions coerced. 11 were tried, but the toll was steep. 4 were hanged, including the Greensmiths. Others fled, desperate to escape the terror. In 1663, Governor Winthrop intervened, horrified by the bloodshed. He demanded tangible evidence, halting the chaos. His intervention ended the panic, saving innocent lives. The Hartford Witch Panic serves as a haunting reminder of fear's power.
In 1788, a colossal army gathered near Karansibis, ready for battle against the Ottomans. Emperor Joseph II commanded around 100,000 men, a mix of languages and cultures. On September 17th, hussars crossed the Temish River to scout for the enemy. Instead of Turks, they stumbled upon Romani travelers with schnapps. A drunken party ensued, drawing in infantry who wanted to join. Tensions rose as the hussars refused to share their drinks. A shot rang out, igniting panic among the soldiers. German infantry shouted "Tursi," causing the hussars to flee. The main camp erupted in chaos, believing the Turks had arrived. Officers shouted "Halt," but the message was lost in translation. Slavic soldiers misheard and thought it was a call to battle. The cavalry, still drunk, charged into the camp, mistaken for the enemy. Panic spread as artillery was ordered to fire. The army fought against itself in a night of madness. Emperor Joseph II was knocked off his horse amid the chaos. Dawn revealed the horrific aftermath of friendly fire. Estimates of casualties reached into the thousands. The Ottomans arrived to find the Austrians defeated by their own.
In the early 20th century, a glow-in-the-dark revolution began. These women, often teenagers, were called dial painters, and their work was considered glamorous. The secret ingredient? Radium, marketed as a miraculous element. They even applied leftover radium dust to their skin, glowing at night. But this beauty came at a cost. Factory supervisors encouraged a dangerous technique called lip pointing. This led to the ingestion of lethal doses of radium. The companies knew the risks but assured the girls it was safe. Years later, the effects began to surface. Radium acts as a bone seeker, destroying bone structure. The women suffered from horrific symptoms, including radium jaw. Misdiagnosed by company doctors, their pain was dismissed. In the 1920s, a few women decided to fight back. Their legal battle against the U.S. Radium Corporation was groundbreaking. They faced skepticism from the scientific community. Despite minimal settlements, their legacy was enormous. They forced courts to recognize occupational disease as legitimate. Their sacrifice saved countless future workers from similar fates.
In 1859, a territorial dispute brewed between the United States and Great Britain. The islands, beautiful yet sparsely populated, were claimed by both nations. On a June morning, American settler Lyman Cutler faced a disaster in his potato patch. An enormous black boar, owned by Charles Griffin, was wreaking havoc. Fed up, Cutler shot the pig, sparking a fierce dispute. The next day, Cutler offered $10 for the pig, but Griffin demanded $100.
"He was eating my potatoes," Cutler exclaimed.
Griffin retorted, "Keep your potatoes out of my pig." The dispute escalated into a national crisis. Cutler appealed to General Harney for military protection. Harney dispatched 66 soldiers led by Captain Pickett. The British governor ordered warships to confront the Americans. Tensions rose as forces rapidly expanded. The British had 5 warships and over 2,000 men. The Americans had nearly 500 soldiers dug in with cannons.
For months, both sides stared each other down. Local commanders refused to fire the first shot.
Eventually, the dispute was settled peacefully through arbitration.
The Mary Celeste, a ghost ship, has captivated imaginations for over a century. What happened to its crew remains a mystery. On December 5, 1872, the Dei Gratia discovered the ship adrift, its sails flapping in the wind. The Mary Celeste appeared undamaged, yet the crew was missing. The cargo of denatured alcohol was largely untouched, only 9 barrels empty. The last log entry was dated November 25th, 10 days before the discovery. The lifeboat was missing, but there were no signs of struggle. Personal belongings were left behind, including jewelry and money. A half-prepared meal was found in the galley, pots still on the stove. Sarah Briggs's sewing machine sat untouched, with fabric still attached. The ship's chronometer was missing, but the sextant was left behind. The compass was destroyed, and a rope was tied to the railing. Why would Captain Briggs abandon a seaworthy ship? Theories abound, including an explosion scare from the cargo. Perhaps a sudden squall separated the lifeboat from the ship. Mutiny is unlikely due to the lack of evidence of struggle. A sea quake or waterspout could have caused the crew's disappearance. The crew vanished, leaving behind their dinner and clothes. The Mary Celeste remains a haunting enigma, forever the ghost ship of the Atlantic.
In 1483, England faced a dark chapter in its history, marked by power struggles and mystery. King Edward IV's sudden death left his young heirs vulnerable, thrusting them into a perilous situation. Edward V, just 12, and his brother Richard, only 9, were the rightful successors. Their uncle, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, became Lord Protector. But his ambitions were dark. Richard quickly took control, intercepting the young king on his way to London. He placed them under his protection, leading them to the Tower of London. Initially the move seemed safe, but Richard's true intentions were soon revealed. Richard began eliminating anyone loyal to their father, executing noblemen without trial. He declared their father's marriage invalid, making the princes illegitimate. On June 26, 1483, Richard crowned himself King Richard III. The young princes were last seen playing in the Tower's gardens that summer. Then they vanished without a trace. No one reported seeing them leave the Tower. No royal records documented their transfer elsewhere. Their mother and loyal servants never saw them again. The mystery of the princes in the Tower remains unsolved. Historians and enthusiasts continue to speculate on their fate. The tragic tale endures, a haunting reminder of power and betrayal.
Did you know that in 1932 the Australian military actually declared war on birds? And guess what? The birds won. So picture this. Western Australia, 1932. Farmers are trying to grow wheat, but thousands upon thousands of giant flightless birds, emus, are absolutely destroying their crops. The farmers were desperate. They called the government. And the government, believe it or not, sent in the army. Yes, actual soldiers with machine guns led by a Major Meredith. Their mission? To reduce the emu population. Sounds easy, right? It was not. These emus were surprisingly tactical. They'd scatter when shot at, run in zigzags, and apparently had a really tough hide. The soldiers fired thousands of rounds, thousands! After about a week they had barely made a dent. Major Meredith himself admitted the emus were invincible, and that if they had a machine gun, they would have been an even bigger menace. After several failed attempts, the military withdrew. The emus? They carried on relatively unharmed, going about their business. The newspapers at the time had a field day, calling it the Emu War. So next time you think you're having a bad day, just remember, at least you're not the Australian Army losing a war to a bunch of emus. What other weird historical events should I talk about? Let me know.